Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Nine Sports T20 Cup, hosted by the BPL. We are live from the BPL Cricket Stadium. Today's match is going to be a thriller of a match that we're bringing to you. The Incredibles versus the Falcons Red. The Incredibles have Fahad Babar, USA player, playing in them. Ali Amir, Moin Babar, Arsalan Babar, Mahmood Chaudhry, Alam Zaib, Talha Mohsin, Dhananjay, Omar Tariq, Farhan Ali, also a great player from Kentucky, fast pacer, and Wasim Khan, who is known throughout Chicago, a very well-known name. They will be playing the Falcons today. We have two Chicago Falcon teams in the T20 Cup, and these are the red Chicago Falcons. Hamad Qureshi, opening batsman. Hunain Amin, a very well-known leg spinner. Aga Khizar, a very hard hitter from the Chicago area. Kamran Sayed, Adnan Bajwa, Muhammad Fahad, Fahad Muhammad, Jamin Patel, Waqar Sarif, Shaji, and Adil Ahmadullah. It should be a thriller of a match today. Both star-studded teams. Incredibles have won the toss and have chosen to bat. Opening is Ali Amir and Fahad Babar to open the innings for the Incredibles today. This match has been brought to you live on Cricket Clubs Live. And the show will continue. And joining me in the commentary box is everybody's favorite commentator, the one and only Julian Calahor.
Thank you, Mir. Welcome everybody to the beautiful Bolingbrook Stadium on a beautiful night. We have moved the commentary broadcast booths to the hill, so if anyone's in the area, come down and join us. I think you might enjoy it down here. Alright, we have the Incredibles just getting ready to start things off. We have Ali, who's been a long time, one of the foundation members of the Incredibles for the past 7 or 8 years, facing the first ball and just deciding to let it go outside the off stump. Delivered by Cameron, just to get things rolling. How are you doing tonight, Mir?
I'm doing well.
That's good.
Grass looks good. We've rolled the ground today.
That's right.
Grass cut, so it should be a beautiful evening for cricket.
And there we have it. Swing outside off stump on the second ball, and a thin edge through to the keeper, and about the easiest wicket keeper catch you will ever see. So the Falcons Red are off to a very good start. And who's the keeper for the Falcons? Who's Abbas? Oh, Waqas. So Waqas is the keeper for the Falcons and took a very simple catch. That's about the easiest wicket catch he's had in a long time. Just to reiterate, this is the 7th match out of 36 pool matches. Oh, here we got just been shown the stats. Ali just faced the 2 deliveries for no runs. Not the best opening start that you will see. However, that being said, this is T20 cricket, and sometimes it pays just to go out and swing the bat, especially in this early part of the match when there are only 2 fielders outside the circle. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, but it's certainly a very common technique these days to have the opening batsman go out and have a swing, at least one of them, and in this case it was Ali. Didn't come off tonight, but it may come off next time. And just to mention, we have 9 teams participating in this 9 sports night T20 Cup. 2 of them are just coincidentally called the Chicago Falcons, 2 totally independent teams from each other, but I guess perhaps not the most creative when it comes to names. So to separate them out, we're calling them Falcons Red and Falcons Black if you're following along on Cricket Club's and checking out the points table. Falcons Black will be playing tomorrow night. Another good delivery there by Cameron. Just found a very good line early on outside the off stump. Bowling to DJ. DJ was man of the match for the Incredibles in the last game, where he came on and scored some quick runs on top of a 5-wicket haul. Very versatile player. That one right off the middle of the bat, straight to the fielder. No run, but solid contact. So that's what he's looking for, and hopefully he can push on with that now that he's found the middle. Hope everyone's having a good time out there tonight, if you are in the area. See Cameron just delivering outside the off stump again. He's found his line, just angling across the right-handed batsman. DJ able to connect nicely with that one, place it through the field, pick up the first run of the match. And the final ball coming up. Some solid contact on occasion. That was Fahad just facing his first delivery. And that brings us to the end of the over. Just the 1 run conceded and 1 early wicket. So the Falcons red are off to a very good start. Yes, if you are in the area, it's a beautiful night. Yes, if you're in the area tonight, come on down to watch the match. It's a beautiful night for cricket. Beautiful night for a walk as well. Here in Bolingbrook, we're fortunate enough to have one of the only turf, or the only turf pitch in the Chicago area, and one of only a handful in the only a handful of turf pitches in the Midwest area. I believe there's one in Kansas, and there was one in Indianapolis, and there's a couple down in Houston now, I believe. I believe St. Louis is in the throes of getting a turf pitch together, not ready yet. Obviously, for top line cricket in any country, you're going to need turf pitches for the best players to play on. We have Hunain, who has played in the BPL before for a couple of teams, has been absent for a couple of years playing elsewhere, but he's back tonight playing for the Chicago Falcons red team. He's coming left arm around. That's his favoured method of bowling, into the right hand batsman. He doesn't get a lot of spin on the ball, but he's usually right in the slot. Doesn't allow the batsman a lot of room. He's a little bit quicker than you would typically see with a spin bowler. So he's very difficult to get away. And in this form of the cricket, that's what you want. Not necessarily all about taking wickets, but preventing runs. Good delivery there. Nicely played by DJ. Out to the cover region for a single. There's a view from our trusty stump cam. Get a look at the sky, trees in the background. Got some families in the distance. We've got some baseball games going on in the area. Wide-ish delivery, in fact called a wide by umpire Shashank. Forgive my pronunciations, Shashank Garamanugu. Who's just a young man, but he's been umpiring for a few years now, and he's proven himself to be a very good umpire. See the good cut shot there, just for another single there. That one to Fahad. Still 2 balls remaining in the over. Just giving away the singles right now. Batsmen just getting themselves comfortable with surroundings and the pace of the ball. DJs does not hold back. He gets under that one. Doesn't quite middle it. But again, this is the time of the match where you can take some risks. Just the 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. DJ got enough on it just to clear the fielder who is in close and the fielder who is in the deep. Fell between them quite safely. And even though perhaps not the most technical of shots, typically fairly safe at this time of the match. Batsman trying to get off to an early start with some good runs. And that brings us to the end of 2 overs. Have the Incredibles, just the 8 runs for 1 wicket down. And going to have Cameron to continue. Cameron's giving up the 1 run off his first over and a single there off his first ball of the second over. Not a lot of room there, but well played outside the off stump. DJ's just squeezing it away. Sort of a late cut type of stroke. Just for a single. And Fahad Baba, solid as usual, just pushing that away for a single. You'll see Fahad as he gets himself set, assuming he doesn't get out early, which he doesn't typically do. Once he's found his rhythm, he usually can kick on with it on most occasions. DJ was on strike there, a cut shot. They were looking for the second run, and in fact they did pick it up with an errant throw back to the keeper, bounced over his head. Not going to make the bowler happy that. Awkward looking cut shot, but again, swing the bat and swing hard at this time in the match. If you can clear the field, there's going to be runs. That's nicely just guided around the corner. Perhaps not timed quite as well as he would have liked, so just a single. Tidy over from Cameron so far. Again, you find usually if you're bowling can concede 6 runs or less from any over, then that's a job well done. Nicely bowled, cramping Fahad for room. Was able to just play it off his toes, but straight to the fielder. Brings us to the end of the over. Incredibles 14 runs after 3 overs and 1 wicket down. And after not a bad over for his first over with Hunain, he's been replaced. They might be saving him for towards the end. We've got a new bowler coming on to bowl the fourth over the innings, Adnan, with the number 0 on his back. Not sure if that's a reflection on what he thinks of himself, or he just is fond of the number. Or perhaps it's like me, representative of my bank account. DJ on strike. He's gotten off to a decent start. Picked up 9 runs already. None with a little bit of a slingy action. Digs it in short. Rising up towards DJ. DJ being a relatively tall man, able to just prod that one away. Directing the field, make sure everyone's exactly where they need to be. And a nice shot there from Fahad. That one beautifully driven over the boundary for 4 runs. It was 6. I apologise. I might need my eyes tested. Yes, our footage slowed down a little bit there for some reason. Minor technical issue. I see, yes, he definitely got under that one. So it was a lofted drive. Cleared the boundary with ease. So 6 runs. Wasn't a bad ball, but it was in the wheelhouse, and Fahad able to adjust his footwork very quickly. He's a fairly well-established batsman in the Chicago area. Also played for the United States national team. Represented the US in matches in Ireland a few years ago. Adnan adjusts on that occasion, drops in a little bit shorter, so Fahad's not able to get under the ball. And as such, just able to get a decent amount of wood on it, but straight out to the fielder in the cover region. A little bit shorter and a little bit quicker from Adnan on that occasion, just beating Fahad for pace. Fahad's wry smile on his face, enjoying the contest, acknowledging the good delivery. Fahad a fan of the brightly coloured footwear, and why not? That one, attempted slower delivery. Fahad was perhaps a little bit early on the shot, didn't quite time it. Did hit it well towards the boundary, but there's a fielder out there in the long on region. Cleaned it up nicely, kept them to a single, and that brings us to the end of the over. Incredible starting to get off to a steadier start now. Pegged back early in the first over, but seem to be now picking up some regular runs each over. 22 after 4. Fahad on straight to the new bowler. I'm sorry, it's not the new bowler, it's Hunain. Hunain sat out, skipped an over there. Now he's coming on for the 5th over. Dropped that one a little bit short. Gave Fahad enough room outside the off stump, perhaps not quite timed as well as he wanted, but an easy 2 runs. Perhaps a better shot on that occasion, but straight to the fielder. If Hunain keeps flirting outside the off stump on that, like that, you might find Fahad starting to pick up on that. There's a perfect example of Hunain just cramping the batsman. That's his typical method, typical bowling style. And a good looking shot. Ball seemed to hit a patch of grass there that maybe wasn't quite cut perfectly by the mower. Slowed down towards the boundary, didn't make it to the boundary, but picked up 3 runs. Hunain took a little bit of pace off on that delivery, it appears. DJ, who hasn't had the strike for about an over and a half, perhaps a little bit early on his shot. Yes, a little bit early through on the shot. Was beaten. Ball does have a bit of bounce. There was no chance it was going to hit the stumps. Awkward looking flick there, straight to the fielder. And Hunain just concedes the 5 runs off his over there. 27 after 5. 1 wicket down. So after an early blow, the Incredibles have consolidated now, but these 2 batsmen are getting relatively well set. And you should find that hopefully they kick on at this point. Again, a beautiful night here in Bolingbrook. It was a warm day today. Breeze has struck up, just a nice gentle breeze blowing across the ground. Things have cooled down a little bit. Beautiful night, the lights are on, yet to take full effect. Just a gorgeous evening for any sort of outdoor activity, but especially for a cricket match here at the beautiful BPL Stadium. We're broadcasting to you from the hill. Not quite as lively as the days of Harry Carey. For those of you Cubs fans out there, and for those of you who like baseball, let's go White Sox. Probably hear the sounds of the baseball game going on behind us. It's a beautiful complex down here at Indian Boundary. We've got several baseball fields, some tennis courts, there's a skate park, some basketball courts, of course the cricket field. There's a lovely bike track that links all the way up along the riverfront, up towards the fishing ponds in Bolingbrook, and across the river, the bridge across the river to Wayland Lake. So there's a lot to be done here on the weekend. If you're riding your bike, listening to the broadcast, stop by, say hello. It's always good to see the people out getting some exercise and enjoying the summer. And a mighty blow for 4 runs from Fahad. Fahad seems to be finding his eye now. Took about 10 balls or so to sort of get himself in the spirit of things. Now he seems to have found the touch. That's a good looking shot. It was outside the off stump in the manner of, say, Viv Richards. Not following the textbook there. As my old cricket coach used to say, if it's outside the off stump, you try to hit it on the offside. That sort of methodology has gone by the wayside now. If you think you can hit it, hit it. As we demonstrate there, with a very, very large hit. That went high and mighty. Cleared the boundary by at least 10 metres. Although in the US that would be 11 yards. For 6 runs, the maximum. Fahad's moved along to 26 now off 16. He seems to be in a mood at this point. Let's see what Adnan has to follow up with. That was too short and too wide outside the off stump. The boundary region out in the deep covers there is a little slow, doesn't make it all the way to the boundary. But an easy 2. An expensive over so far from Adnan. And another glorious shot. An easy 4 runs there. Fahad's definitely taking advantage of the final over of the power play. There are just 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle. So with a mighty waft of the bat, he's able to connect, clear the field, and it's easy runs. All right, so 6 overs done, 44 runs. And this is J-Man bowling. And Fahad making easy work of that delivery. Whipped it away to the leg side. Was certainly very lucky not to lose his balance there. Didn't want to fall back into his stumps, but he's an elegant batsman. He's definitely balanced on his feet. And that 9 Sports bat there, we get a good look at it there, right there. See the big label, 9 Sports. They're doing a very good job of helping that ball along its way to the boundary. The 9 Sports bat has 37 runs off 20 balls so far. Perhaps I need to get myself one of those. Might improve my game. At this stage, I think anything can improve my game, but I think 9 Sports would certainly contribute to my ever lean run spells. Need something to bolster that. Jamin to continue. DJ on strike. DJ has been deprived of strike for the last few overs. Hasn't had a lot to do apart from watch the glorious action taking place when Fahad's been batting. Nonetheless, he's still there, playing the anchor role for the moment. Jamin bowling some spin there, but the old adage is if you don't let it bounce, there's no way it's going to spin. A full toss outside off stump. DJ perhaps could have done a little bit more with that, but nonetheless a single. And that brings up the 50 at the exactly at the 1/3 mark of their allotted overs. Peeling for the run out. DJ did appear to hold his ground. Not sure if Jamin got a hand to that. But DJ was very quick to make sure he was in his ground. Yes, we can see the backgrounder there as the stump was knocked over. We heard the no man-cadding signal, but that would not have been considered a man-cad. That would have been considered a lucky run out, much as, was it Imran Tahir yesterday in the PSL, I think, or maybe the day before. Dropped a catch, ricocheted off his forearms, and into the stumps. There we go. Incredibles, 51 for 1 after 7 overs. And feel free, if you're watching the live broadcast, to let us know any comments that you may have. We've got hi to Sri, hi to Deval and Devash. Deval with his very good profile picture, a much better image than himself. Looks like his young daughter. Deval probably would concede the fact, much like myself, not going to make any supermodel pictorials. And we have Fahad bowling to Fahad. This is Fahad Muhammad bowling to Fahad Baba. Hope you're enjoying the live broadcast tonight. Again, feel free to share your commentary, any topics you want discussed. Nice as he flicked away to the leg side there by Fahad. Should be back for an easy 2, looking for 3. And they are, in fact, going to come back for an easy 3rd run. That's some good running between the wickets there. Both DJ and Fahad seem to be quite fit gentlemen. Just pushing the score along. Fahad's not such a bad over so far. Just early in the piece. Probably get some biased commentary tonight if I throw out that the ICC Test Championship begins tomorrow from London. Is it London?
It is London.
They're playing London, yeah. New Zealand versus India. I would probably think that most of the people watching the commentary tonight, or watching the broadcast tonight, listening to the commentary, will probably be on the side of the Indians. But don't hold me to that. Feel free to tell me otherwise. As an Australian, I am torn between whether I should support the New Zealanders or not. But since it is not a rugby match, I think I may lean towards just cheering for the New Zealanders. It was a rugby match. Anyone but the All Blacks. As impressive as they are to watch. Fahad just drives away to the man long off. Easy run, easy fielding, easy peasy cricket on that occasion. Ooh, DJ just managed to loft that one up. If the fielder had been a little bit shorter, may have presented a very simple chance. Nonetheless, Landed safely, some swift fielding, good return throw, and that brings us to the end of the 8th over. And the Incredibles are sitting fairly nicely poised at the moment. 57 runs on the board, but just the one wicket down, and probably most importantly for right now, Fahad Baba's definitely got his eye in and cruising along quite nicely. You'll probably find that, of course, he's going to pounce on any stray balls, but he'll probably keep prodding along for the moment, and with the intent to launch into an attack at some point. He perhaps is eyeing up his bowler to see who he may pounce upon. See the and not a great delivery there. Full toss, drifting towards the leg side. Fahad perhaps would have liked to have done a little bit more with that. Didn't quite get onto it. It may perhaps surprised him a little bit. But 2 runs is a welcome pickup. Fahad's cruising along nicely, 45. That was a mighty blow. Let's watch the replay here. Launched into that. Somewhere between a slog sweep and a lofted on drive. Down on one knee. But a good looking shot. Very poetic perhaps. There's Fahad. Oh, there's 50 up for Fahad. Scoring just on 189. Run rate of 189, which is impressive. He's certainly done the bulk of the scoring for the Incredibles so far, laying an excellent platform from which to expand. His eyes lit up on that one a little bit. Didn't quite time it. He was looking to get under that one. As it was, he drove it fairly deep, but there's a man in the deep. Had a long on. And they picked up 2. Oh, 52. Sorry, just standing corrected by his technical director. Yeah, 52 in only the 9th over. DJ's trying to get in the action now. That is a good-looking shot. Got under it a little bit, but it appears to have rolled all the way to the boundary for 4 runs. Perhaps the Falcons may want to consider having a fielder in that part of the field. He may have been standing a little bit too square, and as it is there, it looks like they're adjusting the field now to cater to covering that portion of the field. Unfortunately, you can't have fielders everywhere. They are allowed 5 outside the circle now. DJ just tucks that one around the corner for an easy single to the newly appointed fielder out there. And should bring us to the end of the 9th over. And there we have it. Another healthy looking over. 12 runs, 13 runs coming from that one. Incredibles are 70 for 1 after 9 overs. Run rate just under 9. So yes, just under 8, I should say. And certainly rolling along to a what should be a good score. We should just get the scorecard adjusted there. Still showing 8.5 overs. The scorer is having a little bit of technical difficulty, but we'll get that adjusted for you. And there we are, score adjusted on the screen there. Now you see 71 for 1. So I've got that all corrected. 9 overs gone, 71 runs, DJ on strike, it should be. Yes, DJ on strike to the new bowler Fahad. And an awkward looking cut shot there, got an under edge on it. Bounced high off the pitch over the keeper for what ultimately was an easy single. Perhaps didn't draw it up that way. Solid hit. And back into his batting partner there. I'm not sure, did it get him on the hand there, it appeared? Or the arm? Oh, no, on the shoulder. So that's the second batsman we've seen that Fahad has taken out. Perhaps they're not bringing him these cucumber sandwiches when he asks for them. He's just taking them out one by one. Thankfully, that's why we wear helmets, because even being up the non-striker's end, you never know what's going to happen, especially with some of these bats these days. On that 9 Sports bat, you'll see the ball flying off that very nicely. DJ might have a good looking bruise. It looks like they're going to put a bit of ice or perhaps the magic spray. But he's standing, he's walking and just shaking his arms, so ultimately he'll probably be okay. But to have a nice purple mark to examine when he's taking a shower tomorrow. So he's received his medical attention. Looks like he should be okay. Getting his gloves back on. DJ again being the man of the match from the previous Cardinals game last week, where the Cardinals won, and DJ picked up 5 wickets. So he's got a level head. He's ready to continue. Just waiting for the medics to get off the field. And here we go. Fahad Mohammed to continue. And an awkward looking sweep shot there. I think it clipped the back of the bat and went down to, it did, to the short third man region. Fahad looking a little frustrated there. Plays a cut shot uppishly, doesn't get all of it, and straight to the fielder. And that is a good blow for the Chicago Falcons, the Reds. To pick up a wicket, Fahad was looking in good form. We're just going to get an eye, see who caught that ball for you. Shaji. That was Shaji who caught the ball. All right, so yes, Falcons doing what was needed. If Fahad had left out there in the middle, it looks like he was going to run on and pick up a big score. As it was, he picked up a very good 52 off just 32, so he certainly did his job, if not continue on as much as he wanted. But it was a good piece of bowling. Tempted him to a false stroke, didn't quite get on top of that one. Lofted to the man, Shaji, at the Gully Point region. Looks like sort of halfway between Gully and halfway between Point. We'll call it Gully Point. And took a very simple catch. Was very excited. And that brings to the crease Mahmood Chowdhury. Mahmood has been around the BPL for a long time. Very good player, elegant batsman, sometimes bowler, and often a keeper. But the batsman did cross. No, I stand corrected. We have two fairly similar height batsmen out there, and I was momentarily fooled, but I stand corrected. I'm not usually wrong, but I was on this occasion. And so Mahmood's on strike. And a lofted, a flighted ball, I should say, tempting Mahmood, perhaps tempting him a little bit too much, or the ball was a little bit too flighted. I'm trying to get my words all mixed up here. It was a little bit overly flighted, and in the end it was an easy single for Mahmood to get off the strike. DJ continues there, just picks up the single, brings us to the end of a successful over. Halfway through the innings, incredible, still nicely poised, 74 runs on the board. 2 wickets down. We have an established batsman there who has been playing the anchor role for now. Perhaps it's his time to kick on for DJ there. And a new man to the crease, Mahmood. And we also have a new man to the commentary box. I'll bring in Sheikh. Let's just call him Rick, because it's so much easier for someone like me. Welcome.
Thank you, Julian. Good to be here. Thanks for keeping the troops entertained. What a beautiful night. Temperatures have come down. Breeze has kicked in. An excellent game on hands between these two. DJ on strike. Jamin continues his third. This one just plays into the offside, just past the circle for a single, putting Mahmood back on strike. Pulls it into the onside, goes for a quick single. That should be cut off just past the circle. Yeah, Incredibles obviously is a well-known firepower. Falcons red having their first outings in, but look to be pretty balanced and got a lot of great talent on the 11. Just a little swivel into the onside by DJ for a single. Run rate sitting at 7.33, about halfway through for Incredibles' batting innings. Game kind of hangs in balance at this point. Slightly short and wide, was able to very elegantly cut it off the back foot for a comfortable single. Lights yet to take into full effect. Lighted delivery, goes down on one knee and sweeps it. Actually goes all the way for a 6. Beautiful looking shot from DJ. Goes back to what Julian was saying. DJ had been hanging in and playing the anchoring role against Fahad, and he ought to be kicking in, and this is a good sign for Incredibles at the moment. It should be the last delivery. Just rocks back, plays on the back foot down the ground for a single. This should finish it. 85 for 2 at the end of the 11th over, run rate being 7.73. Another great over from a batting side perspective. 11 being the score in that last over. DJ at 28 of 29, almost at a strike rate of run a ball. Fahad to continue, which should be the last over for his spell. This is his 4th. This one just nudged down the ground into the onside for a single. They are wanting to go for the second. Ends up not. Very full from Fahad on that delivery. Played very carefully, however, from DJ. Plays on the full, I believe, almost a full toss into the short mid-on region just past the circle. Runs a quick single. Wanted to go for the second, deciding against it in the end. Mahmoud back on strike. This should be called a wide. Down on the sixth stump rather. Almost looks to have slipped out of his hand. Let's redo this one. Another one. Misfires it down the off. Quite wide, given as wide. Fahad losing it a little bit at this moment. After a decent start to the over. This one right down in the middle. A huge appeal for the leg before. And eventually being given his leg before. So Mahmoud Chaudhry gets out, having scored 5 off of 4. The appeal was quite lingering right into the face of umpire Shashank. We could go for the replay. The height seemed to have been a bit of an issue, but again, umpire's word prevails at the end. From where we're sitting, from what we're seeing, yep, might have been a bit of an issue with the height. Nonetheless, Incredibles 3 down for 90 at 11.3 overs. Mahmoud gone for 5 off of 5. If I'm not mistaken, this would be Wasim Khan, the new batter in. There we go. At number 5 from Incredibles, a very well-known cricketer, a veteran of the game, having scored tons and tons of runs across the Chicagoland region. You would not be a follower of the game if you didn't know Wasim Khan, at least in this region. Fahad to continue, which would be the 4th legal delivery of this over. Wasim Khan to face. Another flighted delivery down the leg, just nudges us from the feet into the on region for a quick single. Comfortably comes back for second. Bit of a fumble there at the circle. Gets off the mark right off the bat, Wasim Khan. 2 off of 1. DJ hanging in there, looking very comfortable for his 29 off of 30. Down the offs, tries to slash or cut into the point region, misses it completely. A dot delivery. Another flighted delivery. This one just swatted right past the non-striker into the onside, past the circle for what should be a comfortable single. A lot of takes on the non-strikers from the batters today. Here we go. The end of the over, 93 for 3 Incredibles. Run rate being 7.7.
Alright, so here we are, continuing on. I think the night's getting more and more gorgeous. It's a beautiful evening. We have Adil Ahmadullah coming into bowl. First over of the innings. Starts with a little bit overpitched, not too bad. And Wasim just manages to tap that away for a single. DJ's now the established batsman. Been starting to get moving on here. He's got 29 off 30, just about at the 100 mark. Launches into that one. He got under it. Is it going to clear the fielder? No. Straight to the fielder. And probably not what the Incredibles needed at that time. A relatively simple catch to the man standing out there at long off. Number 0 himself, Jamin Patel. Certainly was not a 0 on that one. Pocketed it nicely. DJ out for 29 of 31 deliveries. Again, he did a good job, but perhaps could have been kicking on with things a little bit, and Falcons chip in with a very handy wicket now. And that sees the Incredibles 4 wickets down. We have Wasim on 4 runs, and the new batsman striding in is, we had an update from you soon. The batsman did cross. The ball was lofted in the air for a little bit. Let's give Jamin a wave. A beautiful catch there. Wasim's on strike. An elegant looking shot. And looking for 2. The strike is not, the new batsman, Farhan. It's Farhan Ali, who's known in the US circles. Makes his home in Kentucky, I believe the Louisville area. Perhaps he will be a Louisville slugger tonight. Not on that occasion, just dabbed it back. Fielded by Adil with his heavily taped left arm. And should be an easy single there. Even though fielder didn't have to move too far to his right to collect that. Just enough room and some quick runnings. Good call, took off straight away, saw there was a chance. And no chance for the fielder. And Wasim got under that one. He may. Jamin takes quite a good catch on the boundary there. The catch in the end looked easy, but he made a lot of ground in a hurry to get there. He did the hard work first, which made the catch easier. That's a good lesson for anyone watching. There's a good angle of it. You see he's running hard, keeping his eye on the ball. And he ran to the position, and so by the time he got there, he was in good position to take what looked like an easy catch. Wasim was trying to get motoring on, and unfortunately, out to a good catch. Wasim out for 5. Showing the wrong scorecard right now. We'll get that corrected for you shortly. We hope you are enjoying the broadcast. We will tell you that none of us are getting paid for our services here, which means we are learning as we go. Hopefully by match number 20, we'll have it perfected. Yeah, all right. We see Wasim there. They haven't quite corrected the scorecard. They've got to credit the out with the catch to Jamian. That'll be the 2nd wicket of the over. But Wasim's out for 5. Oh, trying to correct it. We do know the new batsman to the crease is Mohan Baba, Fahad's older brother. He's at the non-striker's end. That's Farhan on strike. Taps it away, no run. There's one more ball to go to the over. There we go. There we go. They've got the wrong batsman up. We'll have to speak to our scorer and get him to correct things. Tapped away by Farhan for a single to end the over. And it looks like they're just going back to try correcting things here. No. Moy on strike, just turns the ball around the corner for a single. All right, we were busy getting the score line updated there. And in the process, after a couple of dot balls and a single, Farhan, I believe that's Farhan, holes out. No, that's Moin. Is that Farhan or Moin? It is Farhan. Farhan holes out to deep cover there. Easy catch. And the Falcons may be getting back into the match, perhaps the momentum shift swinging their direction. I guess at this stage you might say the game is relatively evenly poised, but Falcons have come back with 5 wickets in a hurry, pegging the Incredibles back from about 1 wicket down for 71 or 2 to now 6 wickets down for 98 runs. All right, so now it looks like we've got things squared back to where we need to be here. Fahad with the very nice figures of 3 wickets for 19 runs. And that was not Moeen out, that was Farhan out. So that's Moeen on strike. Just to confirm, that was Farhan Ali was out. We have Moeen on strike, joined by Alam Zaid. All right, it looks like we're all back to where we need to be now. So, Incredibles 98 runs for 6 down. This is the 15th over. I think it's fair to say that the Falcons Red have done a good job of pegging things back. It does appear, looking around the field with the Falcons there, that there's a lot of zeros to be seen. Perhaps collectively they're worth $1 million. All right, as you can see there, we're talking about the Reds pegging back the Incredibles, and you see 4 wickets have fallen in the 90s. We're at 99 now, looking to pick up the 100, and that probably is the 100th run right there. But the Incredibles have gone from 2 for 90 to now 6 for 100 in the space of just a couple of overs. this may be the turning point in the match, or these last couple of overs may be the turning point in the match. We'll yet to see. There's still plenty of time left in this match. Clipped away by Moeen. Moeen is certainly an accomplished batsman. Perhaps not as stylish as his younger brother Fahad, but certainly powerful. When he wants to connect, he certainly can. See, the light's starting to take effect. Zadil finishes the last ball of his second over, I apologise. And that brings us to the end of 15. Adil with the very tidy figures of 2 wickets for 7 runs. Incredibles 6 for 102. We can see the worm chart sort of tailing off there from earlier, starting to flatten out a bit. What do you think of that, Rick?
I like it. Falcon Reds seem to be pretty elevated in the middle. A lot of chirp. That's what the cluster of wickets does to a fielding unit against a renowned, incredible squad. So credit to them, including the catch by Agha on the last wicket, chest high, reverse scoop, down in the deep, times it, sees it, catches it pretty comfortably. Here we go again. The fall of wickets and the bowling chart from Falcons Red. Fahad being the standout bowler from them, having taken 3 off of his 4. Certainly seems to have pegged them back a little, the Incredibles that is. Here's the Incredibles batting chart. So about a quarter of an innings remaining in the 5 that we have. Jamin comes on to bowl his 4th. Down on the offside, rocks back, cuts it into the offside. And actually run out. So quite a remarkable effort within the circle, around the circle, fielding it, rocking it back straight to the keeper, who was able to lodge the bails. Incredible 7 down at 102. Quite consistent blows by Falcons Red against them. The Incredibles find themselves in a bit of a bother. In the center we have Moeen Babar, who will be joined by, we'll let you know in a second, Talamosan. Thank you. You guys can see a bit of a drop in the run rate in last couple of overs, given that the consistent wickets have come. That's what happens. That's what it does. A lot of energy in the middle from Falcons Red at this moment. Credit to their bowlers, credit to their fielding effort, who have pegged them back halfway through the innings, a little bit more than halfway. Short and off, cuts into the covers for a quick single. They seem to be backing themselves up pretty well at this moment. Moeen Babar on strike. Just a little bit on the offside, rocks back, pulls it very powerfully, goes through the fence in the cow corner or thereabouts. So a very elegant looking shot from Moeen for a boundary, a very powerfully struck, confidently pulled. Three deliveries remaining in this over, folks. This goes back a little bit, defense of the back foot, down the ground for a quick single, putting Talamosan on strike. Beautiful view from behind the stumps provided by our GoPro. Flighted on the offside, was in it early, sees it, times it. dropped. Unfortunately, straight to the fielder, dropped. Good for Incredibles, not so good for Falcons. It's a good looking shot nonetheless. Single conceded. Just digs it out into the offside for a single. Fielder takes a shy, nowhere near the stumps. They complete the single comfortably, finishing the over at 110 for loss of 7 wickets. Here is a layover for over by over chart in the graph. You can see the couple of tall ones from Incredibles and a couple of low ones where the Falcon Reds came back and damaged by a few wickets within a couple of overs. Okay. Here we go again. Oh, this was on the full into the leg, just lost it into the onside. Goes all the way for a comfortable boundary. Very good looking shot from Moeen Babar. Backward square region. 114 for 7. Adil in his third from Hill End. Goes back, just sort of defends it into the onside for a quick single. Adil has gone for 12 and has taken 2 wickets. So he's had a really good spell from Falcons Red in this game. The run rate still hovering around 7. Down the leg, just nudges it off the feet, off the pads. Short fine leg region. No protection there. I believe they do come back for 2 comfortably. Yep. Talamosan on strike against Adil. Down on the off, goes full, lofts it up, didn't really time it too well, fielded underneath in the long off region, drops it. They come back for 2 comfortably. It was up in the air for quite some time. It's almost the bottom toe of the bat. Sends it sailing, comes back. A bit of a forward dive from the fielder in the long off region. Wasn't meant to be. 2 runs conceded. Down at the center of the wicket, just very comfortably plays off the feet into the onside for a 1. So Incredibles batters continue to rotate the strike, which is really healthy stride and stance of theirs, given the fact that last couple of overs have pegged them back and they've consistently had new batters on the strike rather. Plays it into the onside for a dot delivery. That should complete the over. 10 have come off of Adil's third. Incredibles at 120 for the loss of 7 wickets. Run rate again still at 7. 3 overs remaining in the Falcon Reds innings. Again, the over by over layover chart. 17 being a pretty good one, sort of comparing to the 9th and the 11th and the 12th that they had. The exceptional over that they had when Fahad was playing was the 6th, when he went for a couple of boundaries in it. Hunan to continue from the hill end against Moeen. This should be actually Talha Mohsen on strike. cut very comfortably into the covers. Sort of uppish, goes all the way behind the fence for a boundary. This was just behind the point region. Very good looking strike from Talha. Having taken on Hunain off of his first delivery, putting him for a 4. A wild heave. Might have been a bit of a sound for an under edge. No collection was made, no damage done. Dot delivery at the end. Widest, shortest delivery. Wide given. Talha signals to the umpire that there should be a wide. It was going to be. Anyways. From the field, picks it up beautifully, times it straight down the ground, past the side screen for a maximum. Beautiful looking shot from Talha. Just gets underneath it and strikes it very powerfully. All right, 3 deliveries remaining in this Hunain's over. Just comes across the stumps, dabs it down into the short third man region. Slightly premeditated, wanted to go there from the get-go. So I would have to say a pretty good rebuilding thus far, given the cluster of wickets that had come earlier 2 overs ago. Last couple of overs have gone pretty good from a batting standpoint. And this one struck very powerfully. Again, down the ground, this would have been a 6 anywhere in the world. Not only goes past behind the side screen, but goes behind the hill into the baseball cage. Behind where we're sitting. So long on region, powerfully struck. Muin this time for the maximum. Does a bit of a recheck of the shot on the screen. Muin, that is. Why not? Very Nine Sports style. Yes, he does. He also plays with the Nine Sports bat. Should be the last delivery from Hunain against Muin. Tries to cuss it down into the behind cover region for a quick single. He should be back on strike. So that completes the 18th. Incredibles at 139 for the loss of 7 wickets, having increased their run rate quite a bit at 7.72 at the moment.
Thank you, Rick, wearing the appropriate hat, the No Shave Life. He's got a picture on here that looks very much like himself. I thought he may have had his own brand there for a moment. It is a beautiful night. The bugs are out a little bit. They're the harmless little bugs, just the ones that fly around, get in your nose and throat when you have your mouth open at the wrong time, such as when you're commentating. Good looking shot by Muin. And for 4 runs. That was a pretty classy looking shot. He certainly put some effort into that. One wearing the Nine Sports pads, got the Nine Sports bat. Thank you to our broadcast sponsors, Nine Sports, for the Nine Sports T20 Cup. Thank you to Cricket Clubs Live. Abdullah's doing a marvellous job in the technical booth. Easy single there to Muin to bring Talha on strike. Talha is also a well-known batsman in the BPL arena. Played for many years in the BPL. For a few different teams, now with the Incredibles. Some teams come and go, and some teams just change their names. You can see on camera there some of the bugs flying around. Very thick edge, some good running there. Moeen wanted to come back for the third. Appealing for the run out down the other end, but Moeen's very quick between the wickets. Unlike most people coming out of this pandemic, Moeen actually seems to have lost a few pounds. The rest of us may have gained a few. Moeen's been training hard, playing cricket around the Chicago area. Don't be deceived by the fact he's wearing some body padding there. Not his own official cricket body padding. Tala tries to hoik that one, got under it. It's been called and it's been spilled. It was a difficult catch, high up in the air, swirling around a bit and a little bit of the breeze. And obviously as the lights take over from the natural daylight, it does make it a little bit awkward. Keeper called for it. Perhaps didn't quite get to where he needed to be. In and out of the gloves. At this stage of the match, perhaps not crucial. More crucial that they gave up an extra run, or 2 runs, that the batsmen were able to take during that time. Tuller's got onto this one a little bit more. Mighty 6 over the side screen at the southern end of the ground, right past the light pole. And flung back with some disgust there by the fielder. That is the 9 Sports bat, showing some definite value there. Perhaps if you're looking for a bat, 9 Sports might be one that you want to consider. Based on some of the runs it's produced tonight, it's probably a very good consideration. Peeling for leg before wicket, appears to have been drifting down the leg side. And that is the end of the 19th over. I will say the Incredibles got off to a great start. Were pegged back. Falcons definitely got back in the match, but now the Incredibles have consolidated on their start. You can see the worm starting to head northwards again. And all in all, coming up on what should be a very decent, certainly defendable, and as we've mentioned in previous broadcasts, probably a par score. Par score for this ground is somewhere around 150, 160, depending on the conditions. Conditions on most nights have been very good. I see Tala connecting on that one to bring up a powerful 4. Oh, that was Moeen, I apologise. That was Moeen with his 9 Sports bat. There we are, see the score updated. Moeen moving on to 31 now from 20 deliveries. Still 5 balls remaining in this over. Has spoiled Cameron's figures a little bit there. Surprisingly, Cameron, this is only his 3rd over of the match. He had just 7 runs off his 2 overs before he started the final over here. With someone bowling like that, perhaps you would have wanted to see him get the extra over out of him. Bowlers limited to 4 overs each, or no more than 4 overs each in the T20 format. Whipped out to the leg side there. 2 runs. Tala looking to maybe scamper through for a 3rd, but no, says the keeper. And that brings up to 160, so we're right at about the par score level. There's still 4 balls remaining. Let's see if Incredibles can crack on, get another 10 or 12. Awkward looking shot off the thickish edge, not exactly where Moeen was looking to hit that ball, but does pick up 2 runs. They're all very valuable at this stage. And it's a good over so far to the final over of the innings. Good delivery there from Cameron, took some pace off it. Dropped it in short, Moeen was looking to heave it onto the leg side. Was well ahead of the ball in his stroke. Passed through harmlessly to the keeper. On that occasion, over pitched, full delivery, full toss in fact. Moeen just muscles that one towards the boundary, and in fact clears the fielder by just clears the fielder, stand there at long on for 6 runs for a maximum. We'll have to go back to the scorecard to see how many sixes have actually been scored in this match. We can get to a tally. Moen finishes with a clip to the leg side. They're going to look to come back for 2, and they will. They should make it easily. Back for the 2. Finishes off the match, at the innings I should say, 170 runs on the board. So that's a very good score for the Incredibles, all things considered. Especially, here we go, we'll just look at the batting line-up there. Fahad got him off to a great start, 52 off 32. A solid effort from DJ there with 29 off 31. And then you see a few single-digit scores when the Falcons were getting back into the match, taking those 4-5 quick wickets. Then Moen comes in, picks up a very good 43 off just 25, supported ably by Tala with 28 off 13, batting over the 200 run rate mark. And we'll see the Falcons bowling figures here. Probably the best of them, Fahad Muhammad, 19 runs off his 4 overs and 3 handy wickets. And Kamran there with 23 off his 3 overs with the 1 wicket. And Adil Ahmedallah, 4 overs for 32 runs, 2 wickets claimed. So you can see the fall of wickets there. You can see where 5 wickets fell for just 12 runs in the middle of the innings. At that point, Falcons probably were thinking that they could limit the Incredibles to maybe 130, 140. But as it was, Moen Baba and Tala Mohsin managed to come on, get them to a total of 170. And that's where we sit right now. We're going to take a 10-minute break, 10 or 15-minute break. We should be back here in 15 minutes to start the second innings. Please join us. It is a beautiful night. If you are in the area, come on down. We're broadcasting from the hill. It's a Thursday night. Some of you may be working tomorrow, some of you maybe not. So why not come on down, enjoy the beautiful evening. The lights are starting to kick in, and we'll be back here in 10 minutes or so to continue the broadcast. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you shortly. Welcome back, everybody, to the continuation of the live broadcast of the 9 Sports T20 Cup. This match between the Incredibles and the Chicago Falcons red team. Chicago Falcons' first match of the tournament. They had the bye last week. We have 9 teams in the league. Each team will play 8 matches. So each team plays once a week, with one team getting a bye every week. It'll be a grand total of 36 pool matches, and then we'll be launching into the playoffs in August. We're broadcasting to you from the beautiful Bolingbrook Stadium, from the hill in fact. If you're in the area, come on down and join us. We certainly welcome company. As much as I like my co-commentator's company, Rick, be fun to have, and of course Abdullah's doing a marvelous job doing the technical direction and making us all look really good. But it'd be good to have some extra people down here just cheering us on and acknowledging the fact that we are useless up here on the hill. As we see the Chicago Falcons red scorecard, obviously they haven't batted yet. Their target is 171 from 20 overs at a run rate of 8.55. We're going to have Shaji and Cameron Syed starting us off once we get rolling here in just a couple of minutes. See the teams out in the field, out in the middle now. Incredibles just getting themselves together, figuring out where they're all going to be fielding. Again, it's a gorgeous night here. We hear some baseball games going in the distance. Parking lot is full. Lots of activity down at, as there is every summer night down here at Bolingbrook, Indian Boundary Park. You can see from Stump Cam there, you see the principal tower down the center of the field over the sight screen. And the lights are really starting to take effect now. These are some great lights here, delivered to the Bolingbrook Premier League by courtesy of Pepsi. Thank you, Indra Nui. And thank you to all the sponsors bringing this broadcast to you. We've got Cricket Clubs Live, of course 9 Sports, the principal sponsor of the league, Studio 7 Chicago, the Bolingbrook Premier League, Pepsi and Gatorade. And No Beard Life.
Thank you.
We would like to thank the Incredibles for delivering a little bit of food to the commentary box here. Obviously we don't take bribes, and even if we did, we can't really affect the match from up here in the commentary box, but we do appreciate something good to eat. And I'd just like to mention again, if you're watching out there on a broadcast, you can watch it on Facebook Live, also on our YouTube channel. YouTube channel is BPL Cricket. So if you go to YouTube, go to BPL Cricket, there's a bunch of videos there. And the current one up has a big live in the corner of the screen. You can follow it on YouTube. So whatever your preference is. As yet not available on iTunes. I don't know if it's the sort of thing that would be. But Rick and I are considering doing a podcast. Please give us your feedback if you think that's something that might actually be worth doing. And if anyone would want to listen to Rick and I talking for an hour over whatever topic we decide to. So, not sure what the hold up is here right now. Players just getting themselves sort of into the middle. guys just introducing themselves or making themselves familiar with each other? Well, these guys are very familiar with Chicago cricket, play in many leagues. We do appreciate the ones that play in the BPL. We do believe the BPL is the best cricket league with the best facilities, the best commentary, and the best umpires in the entire Chicago area. And of course, the best broadcast. And again, feel free to add some comments. Let us know how we're doing. Any feedback is appreciated. Anything you want us to talk about. Mostly cricket related. You can test our depth of knowledge, which admittedly is fairly slim, but try to prove us wrong. Shaji on strike. Whipped away to the leg side. Batsmen scamper back for 2. And that brings us to the end of the first over. Fairly eventful over. Some big hits, a wicket, and 18 runs come from it. So an interesting and exciting start to the second innings there, Rick.
Absolutely. Thank you, Julian. From where it stands, both teams have been able to draw first blood and first over rather, in both of the innings. Just want to take a quick moment to remind folks about some lapses and delays. Although we're not error prone by any means, or actually we're quite error prone, the score ticker and the responsibility at the bottom of the screen is being pulled from Cricket Clubs, which is principally responsibility of the batting team. So, and they do a pretty decent job most of the time. Sometimes there are delays and lapses, and that make us delay on being able to tell you what's going on. But that's a technical fact. Just wanted to remind people. So Chicago Falcon Reds, having made a really decent start from the word go, having scored 18 for the loss of 1 wicket. Dangerous wicket that they had picked up of Kami. DJ comes into the caught and bowled, a very soft dismissal. He's quite dumbfounded at the crease right now. Shaji, that is. It was Adnan Bajwa being the batter. Beg your pardon. Moeen just goes full straight, and he just pokes it right back at him. Makes no mistakes in catching it. So Falcons losing their second off the first delivery, and Moeen spells Incredibles on top at the moment, folks. Still needing 153 at the rate of 8.12 from the remaining 18.5. Looks like Agha should be the new batter in, joining Shaji. Moeen had a great time in the middle with the bat, and he continues the entertaining display of his cricketing abilities with the first delivery that he bowls and induces such an easy pop back catch back to him. Caught and bowled, picking up second off of Falcon Reds. There we go, another replay. A bit of a disbelief. Agha takes his guard on strike against Moeen. Down the leg, this should be called a wide, and it is. Moeen to continue. Almost a full toss, actually almost a waist height. Just defended, pass back to the bowler. Could have been punished on the onside. Just wanted to defend it at this stage, having lost 2 already. Bit on the back foot. Plenty of overs remaining, plenty of wickets in the bank, mind you. Fuller this time just goes through the gate between the pads and the stumps. Fielder almost having deceived his own fielder in terms of him having missed it. He'd always caught it. A bit of a joke behind the stumps. Naman Khan, I believe, being the keeper from Incredibles, Mahmood Chaudhary. Not keeping tonight. He did a wonderful job on their first outing. There we go with the replay. And we're back live. Off the pads. I heard a bit of a bat involved. A massive appeal for the leg before. Leg by is given, so no bat involved. Was going to go down the leg anyways. Aga off strike. Putting Shaji back on. Wicket comes down, swing and a miss. Just trying to slot it into the offside. No connection. Goes pass back straight to the keeper.
Good morning.
Continue a pretty decent over in his first from Incredibles, having only gone for two, one being the extra and having picked up a good wicket up at the top. Should be the last legal delivery.
No.
To the offside, just works.
Guys, keeper, हाथ में फेंको.
Good. Comfortable single, 21 for the loss of 2 at the end of
और ये
2
दो
overs,
ओवर की
sitting at
समाप्ति के बाद
10.5 being the run rate, leading
स्कोर है
115
18
from
पर
18.
दो बड़े बैट्समैन.
Thank you, Rick. Yes, thanks for the comments, guys, and the feedback. Those of you watching on Facebook Live. I know we had a little sound issue there momentarily, but I believe that's been corrected. And looks like it's going to be DJ to continue. An expensive first over from DJ, but he did get the crucial wicket. With Kamran. A teasing delivery, just drifting in towards the left-hander. DJ bowling from around the wicket. It didn't offer a stroke, and the way he's flighting these balls, there's probably no chance of hitting the stumps. It's going to bounce over the stumps. But just tempting Shaji outside the off stump. Shaji not biting for the moment. That one just zipped that one in a little bit faster than the previous deliveries. Left flight in towards the batsman's pad. And a dot ball. This is looking much better over from DJ so far. The Falcons red off to a solid start, but looking to be pegged back a bit here by DJ. That one very wide. Umpire Shashank calls the wide, as he should, from one umpire to another. I thoroughly approve of that decision. That's a better looking ball there from DJ. DJ continues. There we go. Bowling. This is apart from wide, a good over. Very good over so far. Just the one ball remaining. Sorry, I stand corrected. That should be the end of the over. All right, so we're just making sure the score is up to date. That's 2 down for 22 after the third over. Moen to continue. Ricks to continue here in the commentary box.
Thank you, Julian. Moen back in the attack for his second against Aga. Oh, this one came back in a little bit. Quite a nifty delivery. Landed on the off. Nipped back just a little. He was still able to work it into the onside for a single, but I like what he bowled. Here we go with the warm chart. 2 early wickets for Chicago Falcons. Red. Cluster of wickets between the 12 and the 14 from Incredibles, indicated by that blue worm in the latter part of the graph. Thank you, Abdullah, for this. Left arm, Shaji on strike, who's at 3 off the 9. Takes a full stride from the front foot into the off, plays it down the ground into the off region. Come back comfortably for 2. Incredibles, knowing that Chicago Falcons Red do possess a few more batters back in the dugout. They want to stay on top. The foot on the gas, keeping them pegged back, under pressure, whatever you will. The game hangs in the balance at this point, given the start that the Falcon Reds had through Kamran Syed. Slashed hard into the point region, goes all the way for a 4. Pretty looking shot. One bounce into the 4, I believe. Very well timed, sounded good as well. There we go with the replay. Love it. 7 have come so far in this Moeen second. 3 legal deliveries remaining. Shaji back on strike after that boundary of his. Goes around the wicket. This one actually kind of cuts him in half. Initially down at the center. Even though it just goes right through. No connection made. Keeper wasn't able to collect it, so they run a quick bye, I believe. I think Moeen changes the side again, goes back to being over the wicket. Slightly short in the offside region, taps it down past the point region for a single, backward point that is. Two runs conceded. So far, pretty good over for Chicago Falcons Red. 10 have come so far. This should be the last delivery of Moeen against Agha. This goes down the leg. Should be given as a wide. It is. After an incredible good over from the beginning of the spell, and Moeen, this has been a bit of a wayward effort. So far, he's gone for 14 off of his 1.5. But he did pick up a price wicket of Kamran therein. Down the leg again, another wide, and they steal a single, so this should be called 2 wides. Slightly sloppy at this stage in this over, particularly last couple of deliveries from Incredibles' viewpoint. Of course, Falcon Reds will take any runs they can at this stage. They have 2 more overs in the power play remaining with the fielding restrictions that they would like to go and milk and get as much out as they can. Shaji back on strike. Swivel, pull off the hips into the backward. Actually, this is gone all the way for 4. Very good looking shot. Behind square. My view was restricted. Nonetheless, massive over for Chicago Falcon Reds. Currently at 39 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of the 4th over. Almost 10 and over. They're cruising.
Yes, that was an untidy over from Moin. He looks like he gave up 17 runs off that over, I believe. And so not what the Incredibles needed. A lot of that in some bonus runs there, 3 wides on top of the runs coming off the bat. 39 runs after 4. They're well on their way at this moment, but we are still under the fielding restrictions. So for the next 2 overs, Incredibles are allowed only 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle, after which they'll be allowed 5 fielders. Again, welcome to everybody who's listening out there, either on Facebook or YouTube Live. We have DJ continuing. After an expensive first over, he did come back with a very tidy second over. Now starts his 3rd with a dot ball. Seems to have found his line, his length, his drift. Keeper's having a bit of trouble gloving the ball. Aga tries to get onto that one, doesn't really connect. It was a strange cross-bat shot from a pitched up delivery. Let's see the replay on that one. Doesn't really get onto it, drags it across to the leg side. An easy single in the end, and certainly any run helps. Perhaps could have done a little bit more. I guess not every shot will make the highlight reel. Well bowled, well defended, and Shaji certainly got his eye in and can afford to just defend a few away if they are well bowled. Nicely bowled, actually nicely fielded out there. The slight fumble, but did very well considering the power that that ball came off the bat. Shaji is able to pick up a single. And it's been a very quick over, this one. Makes it so much quicker when there aren't wides being bowled. Well flighted, well played, well bowled I should say, and well played, well defended. A very, very tidy over for the 5th over there, and DJ's 3rd. Has pegged them back a little bit. We see the comparison chart. The Chicago Falcons red in orange, and the Incredibles in blue. Obviously, when you go over by over, you'll see that, you know, it doesn't actually match up. It's the grand total that is the underlying theme. And at the 5th over mark, the Incredibles were about 40 runs as well. So
all right then, Chicago Falcons Reds, 41 for 2 at the end of the 5th. I believe Ursulan comes into attack from Incredibles against Aga. This actually should reach Shaji on strike. Just waiting on that to get updated at the bottom of the screen. But yep, Aga is actually on the non-striker's end. There we go. Required run rate at 8.67. Pretty juicy flighted delivery into the offside. Just lets it go. Perhaps wanted to see his line and length from the get-go. Well bowled. Pretty flighted delivery down on the long leg side, and he connects it and goes almost all the way, probably just about 2 feet, bounces it behind the boundary line into the long on region. 4 conceded off of his second. Impressive looking shot, but it was kind of a freebie given the line and the length and the full toss aspect of it. Arslan continues against Shaji. This one attempts to defend it. No connection being made. An appeal for the leg before, not to be, was probably going down the leg anyways from the get-go. Good comeback from Arslan. Make a correction in the right bottom screen from the ticker perspective. From the boundary, shimmies down the track, just lofts it pass back over into the onside. Well fielded, no damage done. Dot delivery. Once again, good comeback from Arslan after the boundary. This one seems to have slipped completely out of his wrist. Would have been a 3 wides. Let's redo this one. So Falcons still in the chase. Run rate sitting at 8.12. Another flighted delivery, just digs it out into the offside, off his feet for a comfortable single, putting Aga back on strike against what should be Arslan's last delivery off of his first. So far he's gone for 6. Some fielding changes underway, therefore the delay. There we go. This was right in the center of the wicket. An appeal for LBW, but it was quite high. This should complete the overs. Chicago Falcons red at 47 at the end of the 6th over, or as well as at the end of the power play. Weren't really able to take a massive advantage of the fielding restrictions in the power play. Here we go with the worm chart. Chicago Falcons still in the hunt, still in the chase. Balanced. They've only lost 2 wickets. And they're currently at 47 for the loss of 2 wickets with 2 batters in the middle that seem to be settling in pretty well. Here's a quick look at the bowling figures. DJ, Moeen Babar, Arslan Babar, 3, 2, 1 respectively. DJ and Moeen having picked up 1 wicket.
Yeah, so run chase interestingly poised. You saw from the worm chart that was up on the screen just a few moments ago that things are fairly neck and neck at this stage. Looks like we have DJ to continue with his final over of his spell. And has bowled very well. Return catch there, just a little bit too high and hard for him. Wasn't able to take the return catch, but did manage to get a piece of it. Slowed the ball down to limit them to just a single. Yes, it did come back rather swiftly. DJ disappointed that he didn't hang on to that. And apart from his first over, which was rather expensive, he has been bowling quite well. He's got some drift and some flight, and he's landing him on a good length now, where the batsman can only really work him around, as they did right there, just for a single. You see the Falcons' red run rate has dropped below 8 runs and over. They needed 8.5 at the